Hey everybody, welcome to steepcast. Today we'll be talking about something, a topic, and that'll be consistent every week. So make sure to stay tuned for that on the Steep Valley channel. You'll see this podcast on the channel, obviously, and yeah, so that'll be great. And make sure you subscribe, and that will really help us out as well. But today I'm going to be talking about some golf stuff and how I started golf. Now, most of you might already know that I do golf on my channel, and I like teaching people on how to do stuff with golf, and that's what I'm going to be teaching you in this video with the stance, whether you're at Topgolf or something, or any place that you're playing golf. I'm going to teach you your stance, and just in this podcast on how to get a great stance. And yeah, it's just going to be the podcast of then how I started golf, which is going to be the history of golf, and then it's going to be on how to get better once we get about, 15 minutes into the video. It's going to be 15 minutes of talking about how I started golf, and then 15 minutes on different topics. So let's get started. Maybe I'll see what happens. We'll see in a minute here, but let's get started in today's podcast. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and first talk about on how I started golf. It's about, 4 years ago when I got my first set. It was my brothers, both my brothers, and I'm the one that most likely uses it. I'm the one that got the most into it because I suck at every other sport. So, yeah, I'm the one that got most into golf. So I started playing golf, and yeah, first started using my dad's club, which didn't work out very well. Number one, because he was lefty, and yeah, it just didn't work out very well. And yeah, so we got my dad got me these golf sets for my brothers and me as well at the same time. So that's nice. That's nice. So we've had that for about 4 years. Not 4 years. It's been about 3 years now, and it's been great. I've golfed with it, and then I had to get a new driver because recently on the golf course, maybe like about a year ago, the driver broke, and yeah, I had to get a new driver because of that, because it broke, like the head of it broke, because I don't know if I swung too hard or whatever, but the shaft of the club broke, so I can't no longer use that club no more, but that's unfortunate. But recently for Christmas, I got a new one that is much better, and it probably honestly hits farther than the other one, which is good. I'd rather, it's better than nothing. So this driver's great. I think I like it better than the old driver that I had, the Precise driver. It's a Precise set meant for like junior golfers, I guess. And yeah, so anyways, we got that set. It's a great set. And my school, which does a golf team, I might be doing that. And that would be nice. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Yes, where they have a golf team up there, and I'm excited to do the golf team. And I've never done it, so this is the first time I'm doing it. So I hope it goes well. Hope I make it. Which I have confidence in myself that I will make it, but we'll see on the other hand of it. And golf. I don't know. People ask me a lot what made you choose the sport golf. And the thing that made me choose the sport golf is that it just seems calming to me, you know what I'm saying? It seems great. It seems like a great sport to be like if you're I don't know, having like you want a chill day and you want to play a sport and have fun outside. There's something called golf that is just chilling, It's like there isn't very much. There's like the course is nice, and it's just nice with the birds. There's really no one talking at a golf course. It's like really chill. And in golf, you need a lot of focus to actually focus on the golf course. So that's why there aren't really any distractions on the golf course. They're just very, 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 very quiet on the golf course, which is kind of nice. So that's mainly why I like golf. It's just like, it's chilling, and there's really not really an extent to it on, exactly why I actually like the sport. It's just really chilling, and it's the one sport that I found interesting. I fell in love with it. So it's a good sport, I think. And I wouldn't say that there are any other sport better than golf right now. And that could change. Their second best sport is definitely soccer, and I know that kind of seems a little bit like, oh wow, really, you like soccer over baseball, basketball, football. I would say football's second, basketball's definitely, actually no, baseball's fourth, and then basketball would be fifth place. But I like the sports. I like all kinds of different sports. I'm a sports guy, but I don't play all those sports because I know I'm not going to make any team. I just play for fun in my backyard with my brothers and friends, So that's nice, Like, I have, people to play stuff with in the neighborhood, which is kind of nice because we have a small-sized neighborhood with a bunch of kids in it. So we get around with them, and, have a big match of, like, a football in the winter or something, or maybe, like, a soccer match in something like that, golf match. It's really fun, you know what I'm saying? And it's great. I love the one thing is just because I love golf is because you aren't running around. Now, I love running, and I love running around because I'm a huge runner. Believe it or not, I legitimately run 20 miles per hour, and almost 20. It's probably about 20 miles per hour, but it's like 40 yard dash slash sprint in about 4.90 seconds, something like that. So I'm not the biggest fan of like constantly running, but I know I'm not going to make any football or baseball or basketball teams, so I know I'm going to stick with golf, And in golf, there really isn't no limit on how good you are in golf. I mean, you have to be good enough to make like a team or something, but on a course, you don't have to be good. You don't have to do well. Some golf days you're gonna have a terrible day, and then some golf days you're gonna have a great day. It just depends. It doesn't depend on how good you are at golf or how good you need to be to hit the ball. It just matters on how you play, and like. It focuses on you, not like the other person or something like that, or how good you are. So you don't need to be a certain amount of age. Not only that, you don't need to be a certain amount of good. It's like a PGA player is good, and they play golf a ton, right? But the nice thing is that when you go on a course, you don't have to be good at all. You could tee off from anywhere, when you're like younger. But like when you're older, you gotta start teeing off from farther places. But maybe when you're like 5 years old and you don't have to tee off, you can tee off from a really close start to where the pin is. And that's just the nice part about golf is you can, as you're a kid, you can still develop and make golf seem like a good sport, And golf is not just for older like any other sport. Maybe for I don't know, golf you can be any age. I don't think a 95-year-old might be playing football, but a 95-year-old might go ahead and play golf, It's like there isn't a limit on how old you be for golf. Now, football, granted, there is no limit to playing football, that's correct, but like, for example, you can't make it to the MLB or something, Like, you have to be really good at making the MLB. PGA, yeah, you have to be really good at making the PGA, but at the same time, I don't think you don't have to go to the PGA, you know what I'm saying? The MLB, it's like, golf is a more, long-lasting sport, so, like, you can play golf through your whole life, like, until you're 95, but, football, like, Tom Brady, I don't know, stopped when he was, like, 40-something, 45, something like that, and that's pretty old for a football player. And I know that seems kind of old. I know it seems kind of young compared to on how old people play the golf too. But golf has that thing where you can play golf for your career. You could start it at like a very young age and then continue on without going to the PGA. It's kind of your choice. And you don't have to be good to be on a golf course. You know, you can be bad if you want. It's like there's no limit on how good you can be. Like, I don't know, you could be really bad and lose 45 balls, or be very good and get on the green a lot. You know, there's no limit on how good you have to be at golf. There's like a stopping point on where people get confused on this. Like, do I have to be good at golf like I do with baseball, soccer, football, and etc.? You know, like, no, you don't have to be good. You have to just be like, golf doesn't have a limit on how good you be. That's what I like about golf. It's chill. You don't have to be good to be on a golf course. And the nice thing is you can go to the driving range and get yourself better at golf, which there are always priorities to get better at golf, but it doesn't matter how good you are to be on a golf course. Like, you're not competitive with golf, you know? And the funny thing is, I'm not very into competitive sports, right? So, I wouldn't want to play baseball or football, really, you know? Or, like, football, you know? It's, like, not really my thing, you know? I would, but, like, I do, but, like, it's, like, not my thing, you know? One thing that I like is golf, because golf is, you don't have to be competitive. I'm not the biggest competitive person. I don't seem to work well with a team, you know? Like, it's just not what I do, you know? It's not how my body, you know, works and is athletic, you know? I'm athletic by playing golf, and that golf is a sport. A lot of people consider golf not as a sport because you don't run around, and a sport doesn't have to be you running around. Golf counts as a sport. Is it played? Yes, it's played. Is there a major league for it? Yes, there's a major league. There's a PGA. So if there's a major league, there's a PGA. Many people play it. Many people know of it. Many people... There's a PGA team, which stands for a Professional Golf Association. That counts as a sport because it's on TV and they're playing it in a competitive way. Well, sometimes golf can get competitive, you know? You have to be competitive, but most circumstances you don't have to be competitive. Like, sometimes you can be playing against your dad to be competitive, right? Or sometimes you can be playing against your brother to be competitive, or your cousin, or, you know, etc., your friends, anything. But it doesn't matter on how competitive you want to be in golf. You know, you don't have to be exactly competitive. Unlike football or something, you have to be very competitive and running around and catching the ball and working with your team, passing the ball. It's a lot of work, you know? It's not like... golf is like chill in that way by you hitting a golf ball and it's done, you know? It's like that's your competitiveness, hitting a golf ball, you know? It's like, I don't seem to work well with competitive sports. And a lot of people think that, like, it's like, no, golf doesn't count as a sport because you're not competitive. But it doesn't matter you being competitive in golf. Golf is meant to not be a competitive sport so old people can play it. I think that's why it was mentioned or created. I don't know. Probably not, though. But golf isn't meant to be a competitive sport. Whoever made golf is kind of genius, actually, because I love golf, and I'm kind of happy for that person who made golf, because I love golf. It's not a competitive sport. I'm glad that I found a sport for myself that is not competitive, you know? It's not a competitive sport, and I don't think I would ever really play football, you know, because it's not my type of sport, because I don't like being competitive. And a lot of people think in my school, maybe that's like is that a bad thing because you're not running around, so you just sit and watch a golf ball fly through the air. In some circumstances, yes, you do see a golf ball fly through the air, but that there are competitive things in it. And it's like, well, do you get hot running around in golf? Well, you don't run around, so you don't get hot. And that's actually not true. The golf course can get pretty hot sometimes if you go on hot days. Golf is actually one of the most brutal sports to play. So what that means is you'll get the most hot by playing golf. I know that seems really weird. It felt weird to me when I first heard that, but in 95 degrees, you don't really want to golf. That's kind of dangerous because you could get major heat stroke, you know? I've heard a lot of people say it's not competitive. You need to be competitive to be in the summer. You need to be competitive to get stronger, faster. And there aren't any priorities of getting stronger and faster. Like you could get faster just by running, and without you can do multiple stuff, like you don't have to just always stick with one sport. You can do multiple sports, but like I'm not just doing golf, I'm doing running as well, and that counts as a sport being competitive, running against other people in, like, for example, track or something, that's competitive, running against other people. So it's not only golf that I'm playing, it's also track, but I'm also competitive in track at the same time, because it's like, it's great, it's like, it's competitive, and track is competitive, and a lot of people think track is not competitive because track doesn't actually count as a sport, you're just running. Any sport that considers running or athletic, or that you're playing in, and that it's on TV, it technically counts as a sport. And maybe some people don't agree with me, but it's true. Any sport that's on TV, you're competitive by hitting something or running or etc. It counts as a sport if it's on like TV or something. And some people don't actually get the gist of that, and I understand it, but I personally think that it was a great 3 years of golf for me, and yeah. And then a few years later, I started getting really good and started going out to the course, going to the driving range. I go to one nearby, and I go to Top Golf a lot, which a lot of people know of Top Golf. It's one of the most popular golf driving ranges / simulators, because you can see where your ball went, in the USA. So I'm sure everyone watching this video probably knows of Top Golf or probably heard it before. But if you haven't gone to Top Golf yet, I recommend going to Top Golf. Top Golf is super nice. It's very, very cool to go to. It's not just only going to Top Golf and hitting the ball. It's much more fun by having the screen. So that's how most people get into golf. Someone invites them to go to Top Golf, and then all these people from all the world start to get into golf. Now, golf is becoming one of the #1 sports in the USA because so many people are getting to Top Golf and playing golf and being really good at golf. So that's just how the trinity of golf works. Alright, now we are going to talk about how to get better at your golf experience and how to get better at golf, right? So the first thing you want to know is your stance, right? I'm going to be telling you in this podcast on how to get good stance. Maybe some people don't agree with me getting good stance because maybe you won't listen to this in podcast, but I don't know. It's great stance. So how to get good stance is literally you putting your feet out, right? You want to put your feet depending on the club. So, for example, if you want your head of the club to be directly on your foot, not really on your foot, just like on the side of your foot. Put the head of the club, then stand it up, and it has to be a little bit over to your right foot, right? And then once it's over your right foot and then right on your left foot, like right beside your left foot as the head of the club. So the head of the club is on your right foot, just on the left side of it, just touching it. And then the the left one is going to be a little bit over as the what they call the stick of the club. They call that the I forget what they call it, the grip. We'll call it the grip, right? It goes just hovering over your left foot just by a little bit, right? Not too much, because that would be too little stance, and you want just the perfect amount of stance, so that way the ball can go farther. And a lot of people don't understand why stance actually matters in golf. And stance matters because when you're hitting the ball, it matters about your stance, because if you're in a chipping form when you're hitting a golf ball, it ain't really going to go that far. So when you're using a driver, depending on the club, you want to have stance just by a little bit inches out. So it's about 2 inches out of with your club. So when you're chipping or putting, it's fully in, so your feet are connected. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 iron have that drift of the 2 inches out. So 4 iron is 2 inches. 5 is 4 inches, 6 is 6 inches, and then it just stays at 6 inches of length. and then it goes up to about a foot. So you want to stand about a foot away from the driver, maybe a foot and a half. And then once you get up to the driver, it ends. You don't want to get over a foot and a half. It's pretty far, but it's definitely worth it because the stance is great and it helps you hit the golf ball even farther. And that, I get it. It's confusing to actually think that, but it's just the gist and the physics of golf. Golf physics are amazing. So now that you know how to hit a golf ball and how to get a perfect stance, I don't have really anything else to say except, the one thing is on how to get better at golf is really just your stance, and just have fun playing golf. There ain't really no limit to not having fun at golf, So I'm just gonna tell you guys one thing that is very, very popular in golf. You are going to mess up in golf. You're gonna hit the golf ball where you don't want it to go, or you're gonna hit it. You're gonna have a bad day in one of these golf days of your life. It's just gonna happen. It's not nothing you can do, control, or think about it, because you're gonna have those bad days in golf, and there's nothing you can really do about it. And I'm sorry about that, because, well, not sorry, because it just happens. You have bad days in golf, you have bad days in baseball. Just like you have bad days in any other sport, you have bad days in golf. And I'm going to be teaching you on it. Improving golf skills is really, really actually pretty easy. It's actually more easy than other sports. That's why I play, so I can improve those spots I need to improve, and I get better at them, and then next time I get on the course, I get better and better and better, right? So there are some downsides about golf. Like, you can have some bad days, and you may have some bad luck some days. Like, a lot of time, there's one time I hit 4 golf balls into the woods, and I never found them again. Or there's one time I hit 3 golf balls into a lake, You learn from those mistakes, not to hit it in the lake. You learn where the lake is. Maybe you've been to a golf course multiple times, and you try to calculate on what the golf course actually looks like, and you know not to hit it there the next time. And you try to improve the shot by getting better stance, getting better quality, and getting some better tips on how to get better at the golf game, right? So then the next time you go on the golf course, it'll be better, and you'll be so much better at the next time. And those good days, you'll be hitting golf balls everywhere, right? You'll be hitting them on the green, to the fairway, perfectly where you want it, chipping up, and those good golf days are successful. Now, it isn't always going to have a good golf day, so you're not going to always have the best golf day that you want, or you're not going to always have a golf day that you like, There's downsides to golf, but there's good sides to golf at the same time. So what you want to recognize is the good about golf. Now, it's what you hear about people saying, find the good in people, right? It's the good of saying, you want to find the good in golf. So, if you're having a bad day, some people might find the bad in golf, like slamming their club on the ground, or getting mad at their club when they're not doing the right thing with their stance. So it really just matters on your stance and your fault for not doing the good stance. But, and it's really actually not that hard to get better at your golf stance. It's just, bad days happen, and you have to find the good in golf. Like, do I actually like the sport? Yes, I do. There you go. You like the sport. Are you going to keep playing it? Yes, you are. And you're not going to quit just because you had one bad shot in golf. Or are you going to quit because you had one bad pitch in baseball? It's the same thing, right? You hit one ball and it's terrible. Yeah, it's frustrating. Golf can be very frustrating because you're not hitting the ball and it's not going where you want it to go. It's frustrating. But are you really going to quit golf just because of one little shot? Or is golf going to end your career because you hit one bad shot? No. One thing that people say is keep going in life. There ain't no end to life once you get to heaven, obviously. But there ain't really no limit on how good you have to be at something. It doesn't matter on how good you have to be, right? It matters on you. It matters on how good you are and how good you want to be, right? So if you want to be a star PGA player one day, you have some good days and then you have some bad days. Golf players, it's not just like adults or people who aren't in the PGA have bad days. So people who are in the PGA don't always have good days. They also have bad days. Like Tiger Woods one time, he's unfortunately done with golf now, but he had +5 on one hole. So it just happens, as you age, you kind of get worse, but you have bad days, it's not consistent. It's not like you're the only one because you're not in the PGA. You're gonna have a bad day because you're not in the PGA. No. Golf players have bad days. Every person that plays golf, or every person that plays MLB, MLS, NHL, any kind of those sports, right? They're gonna have bad days. So, like, if you're playing the MLB, if you get a bad hit, and then you get a bad hit throughout the day, pop up, fly out, etc. It just happens, you have bad days, and are you really going to quit and never play baseball again just because you had a bad shot, or a bad hit, or something like that, or a bad, day in basketball? There's no reason to quit just because of one little mistake. One bad game doesn't equal quit. Now, if you're not doing good, and you have been bad for the past, week and a half, and you haven't been hitting good golf balls, there's a slight chance that you might quit, but don't quit. It's always good to get back up the middle, right? So what that means is, to get back up the middle is to try to improve on what you're missing and try to improve on how you're hitting the ball, so that way, when you hit the ball the next time you go out on the golf course, you'll be professional, and you'll be so much better at hitting the golf ball. It's just consistent. It's not like you hate golf just because of one bad shot, or it's not like that, It's just what you want to do and what you want to think, right? It's how you control your life, and you control the good in golf. So control the good in golf. Is golf the fun? If golf is the fun sport to you, play golf, right? Golf, you don't want to find the bad in golf, meaning some people find the bad in golf, like, golf is a terrible sport, I absolutely hate golf, I'm never playing golf again. But the one thing you want to do is find the good in golf. So, the good in golf means find the good when you're playing golf. It's actually really easy to do that. So, just find the good in golf, and you'll be a professional golfer, right? And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this first podcast of steepcast. I will catch up on you guys later. And, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Or whatever, seeing today's episode. Sign off for now. Your boy, steepcast. And I'll see you all in the next one next week, Friday. Today was Friday, June 12th. Tomorrow will be Friday, I don't know, I can't do math right now, but Friday something, I'll keep the update on you guys. But thank you so much for this first podcast. It's about 30 minutes exactly. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time in the next podcast. All right, see you guys.